why people do that. Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook. Glad to see so many of you in here. So let's start with the question with the somebody, I can't remember the name of the person, who said he lost 20K trading in New Zealand. I don't know whether he was selling it, buying it, but he lost 20K on this. Well, if 20K is only 1% of your account, that's okay. No big deal. You lost 1% of your account. That's normal. Nothing to worry about. But if 20K is your account, then you're probably in trouble. And why most traders get in that trouble? Right? Why most traders get in that trouble, as I was explaining before I started the recording, is because they're trying to trade with no knowledge and zero experience. Or they're experienced, they have experience, but experience on bad knowledge. The knowledge is inaccurate, but I've been trading for 3 years, so I know how to do this stuff. No, you don't. You're doing it wrong for 3 years. That's why it's not working for you. And that doesn't mean that because you have 3 years experience, it's going to work for you next year. No, it might not work for you next year because you don't have the right knowledge. You don't have the right, the right way of doing this. And the reason most traders don't get that is because they hear stuff on the internet like this. Hey, you come buy I'll give you 1 free training sessions, and then you will buy my platinum training sessions, and then you will buy my super platinum training course, and then you're going to buy my $1 million trading course, and you will be a millionaire. When you hear those crazy stuff on the internet, you see that and you hear that, and then you start thinking, oh wow, I'm going to be the $1 million trader, man. I don't need to do anything. Right? You get a free course to be a $1 million trader. Not going to happen. You'll be a $1 million popper by the time you finish all of those courses. It's called baiting you. You know why they bait you? Hey, here I have a free course. Take the free course and then buy my $1 million course. That's baiting you. You're baited into losing your account. Most of you will eventually. Sad story, but you will. Right? Most of you will do that. And it will be fun because you're warned many times not to do it and you still do it, right? If somebody wants to give you something free, here's what they have to do. They don't have to bait you about it. Just come and do what I do. Here's a free webinar. Listen to me and decide if you like what I do. I don't bait you. I don't say, hey, I give you 3 free webinars and then you buy my course. Right? Take it. It's free. The knowledge is free. I always said to everybody, knowledge is free anywhere you go. You go to university and ask them. They will tell you the knowledge is free. You're paying us for the time that you're here with us. Time has value. Knowledge is invaluable. We can't pay for knowledge. We can only pay the time people will take to pass that knowledge on to us. So when people are bundling up their knowledge into fancy things, like I call that the McDonald's trick. Right? You go to McDonald's, they take 2 slices of bread and they put a piece of meat inside, and one of them, they put a piece of tomato and lettuce inside. They give it a fancy name, package it in a very nice package, and charge you a whole lot of money for it. Right? Because they've packaged it for you. Basically, you're buying the package. You're not buying anything good inside the package. You're buying the package. That's the whole thing, right? So sorry, if you lose 20K and that's a lot from your money, you probably should get knowledge first. And then get skill and then come to trade. You cannot be a good trader. Regardless of what people will tell you out there, it's a tough thing to do. It's not easy. And you're not going to get rich very fast doing it. Right? So just remember that. Don't lose your 20K for no reason. Let's go. Some people are getting impatient, right? You didn't lose 20K. That's why you're getting impatient. The guy who lost 20K probably wanted to know why he lost it. So let's go. Yep, let's start. Let's go back to where we were, dollar index. Dollar index. Last week we had this structure. Let me put it in a 4 hours so you can see it. And when you see structures like this, I tend to think that they're reversing. These are very often reversal structures when you see them start doing that, and you will see divergence in the chart going, right? What we are thinking is that at some point, this thing is telling us it will start to reverse, go back up. So Short term, remember, there was a sell setup there if you're looking at it, but let's look at the daily chart to see what we have. Remember, I said the daily chart may still be going down. You're still in a daily downtrend. You're in a 240, you're in a daily downtrend, you're in a 240 downtrend, right? It dropped, you take the trade. If this goes sideways on the 1 hour and drop, take the trade. It goes sideways, drop, take the trade. So let's go and look at what the trade setups would be for this week. Two things you would look for right here. Remember last week we looked at this and we said it could go up or it could come down. Same here, you got 1, you got 2, they're probably gonna make 3 here. If they make 3 waves in here and they drop beyond, you're looking for a breakout sell here. If they make a wave that is gonna go up strong, you don't have a buy until they come above this trend line, make a consolidation here and then go. So right now, you're waiting for one out of those 2 to happen. And if you have the patience to wait for one out of those 2 to happen, you're going to have a good trade going. So let's go to the euro and see what we have in the euro. We have a very similar structure in the euro. If you remember last week, we said when we see this pattern in the euro, we think reversal. This should come to test the low here. That is what we were trading for. We were trading for this to come to test the low. So some of the trades we made, this was one of the trades we made. And then when they broke out of this, we said, okay, we were looking for this to come back one more here. So we were trying to sell this. We sold this and we were trying to sell this. So we were looking for a sell in the euro and a sell in the New Zealand and a buy in the pound and a buy in the Aussie, right? The pound and the Aussie buy got entered, but these didn't get triggered. So let's see what happens. What are we looking for today? We're in the sideways. There's a very good chance. Let me go back to the 4 hour. There's a very good chance that we're making a top. It's topping out, which means it's going to come back. And if they come back, we will still expect them to tag this low. If this thing breaks the top, there's one trade to break this top here, and then you will start to see that reversal. Because once they break the top, you can see the divergence you're going to get. And every time you see that divergence, when they break the top, they start to pull back. They break the top, they start to pull back. See that divergence? They start to pull back. So if they break the top, we will get that divergence and they will pull back. But in the 1 hour, wait for this to happen. Either this comes back here to this low and then go back up, you have a buy here. That's one more move up, take profit. Don't keep the trade, take profit because they could start to reverse from there. If this keeps coming down, I would allow it to break the trend, make a flag, then I would look for sell setups. I'd not be interested in selling this to the downside until we got a breakout, maybe probably a breakout of this one here. If it breaks this one and make a flag here, I'll sell it. But it needs to break, it needs to make a correction, and then you look for sell. Only then you look for sell, because if you don't, what will happen to you is this. Comes here, you sell, and you watch it do that. Why that is possible? This could be a 1, 2, 3, and then we go back up, making this a bigger structure. 1, 2, 3, and up. If I see this without a consolidation, I'm looking for a buy here. So they're all at the top. They're all at a very, very, very high point. Let me show you. It's not the end of the move, but they're at a very high point where with divergence at play, we are anticipating deeper corrections before they go. A continuation of the trend, but only after we've got a deeper correction. So that could happen now. The up move is possible, but it's limited, which means one move up, take profit, right? Because at some point, this thing will have to correct itself before it goes. It always does, right? So long-term picture, this thing could be any number of options. Because we may still be in the consolidation, we can look at this as an A, a B, and a possible C in the making. C to break the top, C maybe don't break the top. And then we will be looking for a downside. That's one option. You can see that, right? I think all of you, when you see something like that, you start thinking downside. Retest this low, at least. if this was the correction, let me just show you very clearly. If this here was all the correction, and this was the down move that broke the low and gave us divergence, this is the start of an uptrend. But to continue the uptrend, they will have to correct and then go. So the focus you need to pay on right now, what you need to focus on right now is it going to start a correction now? We can sell. Or is it a continuation to the upside? We can buy. The buy is possible, short term, take profit. The sell is possible, short term, take profit. Until it's very clear to us whether it's starting a downtrend or it's making a correction. But I'd be expecting this week to make more downside. Maybe one more last impulse. They push up once and then start to come down for the impulse. Come down for the correction. That bigger correction is due. Right? Daily correction before it go. Pung. I don't think this was news. We broke out last week and we said, watch it. They could either make a 1, 2, 3 correction and then go back up, or they will attempt to tag this low. That will depend. What I said last week is will depend. We will look at this structure and say whether they're coming here, depending on the sharpness with which they come, or whether they make a flag for the upside. So what they did, this was a sell setup for you last week. I think some of us took that sell setup there last week. And when it came here, some of us attempt to sell and then it broke out, which might have been a short loss. So you got to win, you got to win, you get a loss. And then this was our entry for that one to the upside. This was during the news event. Right? See? So what are we waiting for now? Let's go to the daily. It's easy. Two ways we're looking at this. This one comes back to the low here, complete this X wave and then go back up. That's an option. The second option is we are still continuing up for a Y wave, an extended Y wave. So how do you trade that? Go to the 4-hour. You notice they made a pullback. They made a move. They always pull back. They made a move. We'll probably get a small pullback in here. If you get a flag like this here, look for a buy. If they're going to reverse to go to the downside, wait for this to drop, wait for it to make a correction. It will do this. This will take a couple of days and then you'll get a trade. So let me show you what that would look like. That would look like something like this. Drop, make a correction, you get that trade. Drop, make a correction in here, you get this trade. See? That's it. Drop, make a correction like this. It drops, it makes a correction like this. You get this trade. So which of those patterns we're going to see if it drops? I don't know. Let's wait and see. So you were not going to get a trade here, at least for the next couple of days. This thing has to consolidate here and then go. You get the trade to the upside, take profit. I am more inclined to believe they're going to drop, make a sideways, and drop some more to complete this bigger pattern and then go up. So I would be looking mostly for this trade. But if I get that short-term trade, maybe I'll take it. Maybe I don't like to take two short-term trades. I'd rather go for the longer-term trades. From a buy from the low would be a good one. So let's see. Wait for that. You don't have a trade today. Aussie? Aussie is finally at the daily top. Remember, we were expecting Aussie to either make, we thought we were going to get a triangular pattern. They'll come back to this low and give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go up. Everybody remember that? Well, it turns out not to be a triangular pattern. Some people may count this as a triangular pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go up. I don't think it's a triangular pattern. And I think we will be correct in it not being a triangular pattern, because the way we look at waves, it's tells us this is 1, that is 2, this is 3. And this one did not come back to the bottom there to give us 5. So we're looking at this as a 1, a 3-wave correction, and a wave that is going up to either make an ending diagonal or a channel. So if this, two ways you can look at this. This is either making a very, very complex B wave, like the Punkad. Remember I showed the Punkad, a very complex B wave. If it's not making a complex B wave and they're going up, then this is going to make a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, come back here for 4, go back there for 5, and then come down. So we may be looking at something like that. You can take a snapshot of this and keep it to see whether it behaves like that. We don't know that it's going to behave like that. But as C waves goes, that is what we normally look for when we see them making deep pullback. when we see structural change, it's showing us this rather than that, right? This piece is not supposed to be so deep in a pullback if you're making an impulse to the upside. The only exceptions are when you're making ending diagonals and channels, right? So on the 4 hour, if you want to trade this to the upside and you take this trade, there's a small trade there. Be careful, put that to break even, because this could stop anywhere and start to pull back here. See? Pull back to this level, pull back to this level. So you want it to pull back to this level, and then you get a very good trade to the upside. That would give you a good trade, because now you know you're behind the pullback. There is already a pullback, a correction, and after the correction, you're going to get a next impulse. So let's go into 1 hour and see. There is a 1 hour impulse going up here right now. But as you can see, we have a lot of divergence. These were small ones. We have a lot of divergence. I thought this one was going to actually go down more. We have a lot of divergence. If this goes, it's going to go, but it might not get very far before they start making the deep pullback. So you can take the trade. Like I said in my room this morning, I told them you can take the trade, but you have to put it to break even pretty fast. As soon as you hit that top there, you put that to break even. You got to put this to break even, because this at any point here could start to fall, and it could fall pretty hard. So if you're in that buy, put that buy to break even, move that buy stop into positive, into profit, because at some point this could start falling. They need to make this correction. They need to give you that correction before they get a next go. So what is it going to be? Just a correction and we go? Or is it going to be a more complex B wave? I don't know, but let's wait and see. At least we know that for me now, I would be waiting. I would let this finish what it's doing, and then I'll wait for the bigger correction. This one or this one. Maybe if you get one like this, I'll take it. Right? That's a good enough correction to give you an impulse like that. When you get a small correction like this, you don't really get much of an impulse to trade into. You want the deeper one. So probably the best thing to do is to wait for the deeper pullback, and that gives you a good trade to the upside. That would actually confirm the upside. Can we actually sell this to the downside if it's going to happen? Sure. If they make a fall and they give us a flag, you can sell it for one more down, take profit, because they may make another one fall, take profit, and then you get something like this, upside. Let's see which they give us, right? Next week we'll know. But if you're in the buy now, you want to take profit. New Zealand, same here. We still think the New Zealand could break this top. That means that if they break out of this, they're making a consolidation here right now. This could come back here. I could see this consolidating some more here. If they break out, you will take the buy. Depends on what this structure looks like eventually. Short term looks like they may give you a sell. We think this could come to this level, break this low, making 1, 2, 3, and then up, right? So you may want to take this sell, because if it is a reversal in the daily, like I said, there are reversal points. If it is reversing and you take that sell, you put it to break even. And if you're lucky, they do this. That is if you're lucky, right? If you're not so lucky, you get a break even trade. So let's go back to that 1 hour. You may want to take this breakout sell. When it breaks this low, put it to break even. If you're lucky, they go through. If you're unlucky, they go back up and you buy above the top here. Easy, not difficult. Understanding what the market will do is important in understanding what is your risk in any specific trade setup you see. So right now, this is in consolidation. If you don't have experience, stay out of it, right? If you don't have the experience to deal with this, stay out of it. If you have the experience and you know how to manage your risk, it's not a bad trade. Let's go. US yen, let's see what this is doing. We spoke about this. If you're following the webinar carefully for a number of weeks, we said they will come tag the top and then they're going to fall. This was a fall we got. You can look for that trade. You'll get another one. You may get a deeper one. You get another one. You'll get another one. And they will tag this low now. So the idea is to trade it towards the low. right? That is the idea. Trade this back towards the low. Now, somewhere in here, they will make deeper corrections. They never go in a straight line. Not when they went down, not when they go up, not when they made this move up. We're saying you want to look for sell setups. This could make deep pullback, and I think this might be one of the time when they will make a deeper pullback. If you're in the sell, like I said, take it off or put it to break even. And look for this. Wait for the break of the low, because this could be a deeper one, and that would be a very nice sell setup. So if this thing pulls back here today and tomorrow, we'll get a nice setup. Right now, there is a sell setup, but if you take the trade, you'll have to be ready to take a break. I think it's no longer valid. It's there for a long while, and if they stay there for a long while, it's not valid. To retest 114 area, 113, 114, I don't think they will go back that high. Even if they go back up as a move, I think they will probably do like this, and then they will drop. Maybe 113.50 is the highest you probably get it. And then the downside. We're looking for more downside. I don't know why we wanted to go up. Now, remember when this was going up, I said, watch them to break that top. They normally go break the top and then come back to the downside. So we're expecting this to come back to this level. And then we're expecting the upside. Break these lows and then upside. So right now, we're looking for the downside. I don't think they're going to go test that 14 area. CAD may be confirming the downside, and I said maybe still confirming the downside because it still hasn't confirmed the downside that this is the start of the down move. That has not been confirmed. It doesn't matter that we break the trend. We make short-term trades in it. We did. We took a short-term trade here. This was a nice one. I hope all of you got that. How many of you got that trade? And this was another one we took here. Those are very good trades we got. Sell here and a sell here. Actually, that was exactly the entry spot you see there. It was during the news event, and that's where we got tagged in the trade to the downside. Now, what I will always expect here is that they are going to make a deep correction. So all the trades we take are short-term trades. We take off the profit. We're not keeping this for the long run, right? You get in and you take off your profit and then see, because at some point, this will make a deeper correction before it goes. So you don't want to take this trade and then, stay with it for a deeper correction. When they make that deeper correction, then I will be sitting in it for the longer trade to the downside. So at some point, a deeper correction is coming. Something, I don't know, doesn't have to be very deep. Anything like this, a bigger correction to tell us, confirm that the downside is going, then we'll be in that trade. If we keep getting small corrections in 1 hour and 4 hour, we'll keep selling them. They will be short-term trades. So this was a short-term trade. This one here was a short-term trade. If they pull back like this and they drop, we will take a short-term trade again. If they pull back like this and they drop, we will sell it again. But we are only looking for sells now on the CAD. Only sells on the CAD right now. So all correction in flags and small moves would be short-term. If and when we get that big correction, most likely we'll get it. It will be a long-term trade. We'll be sitting and not coming off. Swiss, short-term, this Swiss, I think Swiss could get a short-term trade to about this level, testing the low, but then we want them to tag this low, if you remember. And I did say you may want to watch it start curving at the bottom here, right? Remember I said you want to watch this. They made a 1, they made a 2, they're coming for a 3, and they could probably start doing this here. I actually like when they do that, because this confirms my move to the upside. So short-term, there's sell setups. You can take them very short-term until they get here. You can see the divergence already playing out in there, and that means eventually this pattern here will end somewhere along here. They may make a 1 or 2 or 3 more drop, and then you can see that move coming. The upside will be amazing. So keep your eyes on it. And right now it's starting to get weak. It means that they're making this, they're falling. They make a consolidation, they'll probably make some noise here, fall. And I think they will tag this low, maybe 1 or 2 more before they tag that low there, and they will go. Now, they don't often tag the low. We wish they tag the low so that we get an expanding flat and not a running flat, which does not tag the low. So we're watching this. If this thing starts to break up again, we would look for buys. We actually bought it once and we got out of it, right? Because it didn't go. So we're going to wait again to see if we get all those trades we made in the trading room. So we'll watch this make a correction here and you can drop. See, you've got a nice correction there for a sell. You'll get a correction here. You can look for a sell. right? That would be a sell setup. Euro Oz, we told you it's going to be a sell, right? Nothing new here. Well, when they break this low, we're going to be looking for buy setups. We made 1, we made 2, we are making 3, and then we will start to look for this to go. And I think, if I'm correct, this would be a very, very big trade to the upside. We've been speaking about these trades for a long while. For a very long while. What are the 2 options we have right now? One of the options is they come back and test the low here. That is, this thing here comes and tests the low. And then go up, right? I don't see that one possible. We can't give you the reasons for that. We don't see that as possible. We could be wrong, but everything we have learned in the chart tells us, nope, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing here is consolidating. 1, 2, 3, up 4, maybe 5, then go, or totally just take off. So let me show you that trade setup here. See this one here? I'll have to go, if I'm to show you this one here, I'll have to go to change the charts to the I'll have to change it. Sorry, I'll have to change it to the EUR USD. Let me change them to the FXCM charts, and you will see those trade setups I'm showing you now. Right, those same very trade setups that I'm showing you here. FXCM. Oh, that's Euro. No, we don't do it. EURAUD. These are the trade setups. See these? If you look at this on the 4-hour, you're going to see those trade setups we were talking about. Let me go back. Let me see how far back I have to go for that. I think more back. Let me just make sure I'm getting that correct. Nope, somewhere in here. Somewhere in here, yeah. All these here were trade setups. I don't know where the signals are, but they're in some chart. You will go back and look at my charts. You will find them. These up move. We actually found all those up moves. This one, an up move. This one. You notice they consolidate a while. Look at this here. You got an up move. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go, right? So where are we right now? You get an up move. You're looking for 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, and then go. Maybe just 3. See? So this thing is about to end. It's not. It will not going to go down very much to the low side. Let me go back to the chart that I was using, which is the EURAUD, the Owanda one, and you're going to see, right? We anticipated that move. We got it. Now we're going to look for the upside. Start looking for the buy. There's a short-term sell setup this morning in our trading room. We made a call for a short-term sell setup, very short-term, which means if this thing doesn't go in the next hour or two, take it off, take your profit. We are breaking the low already. It's likely we are expecting them to come about here and then start to go back up. Let's see if they do that, right? So very soon this thing starts to go up. Start looking for upside, right? That's it. Let's see if it's going to happen. They can come some more. I think they can go some more, maybe to about this level, and that would be a great setup for upside. Look for this trade to start going up. This move could be very impulsive, or it could be like this. If it's like this, we will go one more down. If it is very impulsive, that's it. You got the trade, right? We'll see. Aussie could drop. Remember I said it could drop. And if Aussie drop, this thing is going to take off. See, you guys are grabbing the concept. It's just you have to have the skill level and the right way to reading the charts, right? Once you do that, you're okay. Let's go. Euro Chief. Where's the Euro New Zealand? Sorry, Euro New Zealand. That's the one that comes next. Same here. There could be some more downside. There could be upside. You can see this one is repeating what the euro. If you look at this, this is actually repeating what the euro Oz did, right? The euro Oz made this move, right? See that correction in there, and then they drop. Euro New Zealand is right now in the correction. We're in the correction. There's a small trade to the upside, if you notice. We're in this channel, and there's a trade to the upside right now actually forming. There's a short trade here to the upside. And by then, you want to watch it for them to go back and retest this low. So we can see this thing drop first, come back, retest this low here. I would not be surprised if this happens. They come test the low and then go back up, because now there is only one case where I think this could be all the correction. This here could be all the correction. I don't think it is, but it could be based on, you know, how the structure works. There's a three-wave very sharp structure in there. If you see it, very sharp three-wave structure, that means this will continue to go up. So take the buys. You take the buys and watch it if it's going to break out of this structure. When you take the buy, when you take this buy, as it comes to this top, put it to break even. If it breaks out of this structure, keep that trade. If they bounce off the top, come back, take you out for break even, comes here, break the low, make a flag, sell it back to the bottom here. Yeah, possible zigzag. You see it, right? I think, you know, you can see that pretty sharp move. One sharp case, this and this. Those are rare patterns. You see them, but they're very rare. Right? One is in the Aussie monthly. Very rare kind of extreme patterns where they're so sharp as the correction, and that is all the correction. So take this trade if you get it. If you know how to trade it, take it. Euro Chief, they broke the top. We were expecting more downside here. We're waiting for this to break out. Let it break out, make a flag, and then we'll look for sell. If this is some kind of a correction, they'll break out and go back up. Right? We will look for the buy setup. So when this thing breaks, don't jump in the trade. Wait for the flag. Wait for the corrective structure before you sell. EuroCAD, I don't think you need me to tell you what to do with this, right? I think this is an easy one. Right? They may come back. I think they could come back to the top here. And if they do, that would be a good trade for the downside. This has a CAD inside, and CAD is going down, right? Euro Yen. We sold this, we took profit, and we're looking to sell it again. The reason I take out the trade, I was in the trade. The reason I took it out is I think they're going to come back here first, make a correction here, and then the downside. This is what I'm looking for. If they do that, I'm looking for a sell setup. I think I showed you this on the daily. It's at an extreme level, and we're expecting this to go down back, right? And this trade, we will take this trade because it could get all the way to this level. So this is a good sell setup you may want to look for. Remember, it does not travel in a straight line. And it's not ready for a sellers yet. I'm expecting it to go up more, and then we will sell it. We were expecting this. You mean above this top? Very unlikely. Could, but it's unlikely. I'm not looking for a buy. I'm looking for this to come back here and then start looking for the sell. Right? So let's see. Europong, how many of you in the Europong sell? How many of you guys took a Europong sell? We have 347 people in the room. We'll be talking about this thing going down like forever. I should actually put a poll because I wouldn't be able to count all the yeses. I was expecting 300 yeses. I only got a couple. That's not enough. So let me show you this trade and tell you why you should be in this. We've been talking about this trade like forever. Guys, watch this thing. When they get there, they will start to come down. I did not change a thing in this one. Even these numbers are where they were. Right? Those letters and numbers, they're insignificant basically. They're just telling you where we are in the trade. But you know, this is a good trade. You should be in the trade. Right? And what we're looking for, if you're not in the trade, look, wait to sell it. They will pull back. They may even pull back deeper than we expect. I don't think they will not break this top. I think they will pull back maybe even more deeper than we expect. But eventually it's a downside. We're selling from the top here. Most of my traders actually grabbed the top there. That's where we got it, right? So watch this trade. There may be more upside. I'm not really worried about that. You can see they broke out of this trend already. If you take out, let me put this here. Notice there's a break of the trend. That is not a sign of upside as yet. That's just telling us we are correcting, and we may be correcting a little bit, but I'm not closing the trade on this one. They have to give me a break-even trade on this, because I'm keeping this trade all the way to the bottom here, unless it makes a very, very long-term deep correction. Otherwise to that, I'm keeping it to this level. See? That's the trade. We've been talking about this trade for a long time, and you guys should get it. Everybody, all my traders also, well, not all of them, a lot of them got it. We were expecting all of them to get it eventually. Pangaz, we broke out. We're going down to tag the low. I believe we will tag this low, and then we'll start to look for upside. We were looking for this. We got it. They broke. They're coming. We will expect them to come some lower, maybe to this level. So I think some more is in the Pangaz before they go back up. They can actually drop lower. I don't think this is the move that will drop lower. I think there is one more up before they come down. But we will see. All you have to do is look for sell setups, right? So look for your sell setups. There's a short-term trade here. I really don't like it that much. If my traders took it, that short-term sell, if you took it, put it to break even. Well, wait, give it some more time. And if it doesn't go, put it to break even. It's a little short-term trade. I was hoping that this, if they fall through this bottom, if they don't, then they'll probably remember the warning. There's going to be an expanding flat, and then they can go back up. If they make a deeper pullback here, better for us. It's a sell setup. Not looking to buy it. Not as yet. Pound New Zealand. This one is a little weird pattern. I don't think any one of you guys would understand these patterns. They're very complex, but we kind of see this coming. I don't think we want the trade as yet. Probably a little more up, one more buy, and then you could probably see them retesting this low. If they decide to take this all the way to the top, we'll see. But right now, I think it's more of a consolidation for more downside, right? This is kind of a consolidation, 1, 2, 3, and then we should see some more downside before they go completing this structure. So it's a tough one to trade right now. So you guys would better be. It would be better if you stay out of it. Don't try to trade it. It's kind of complex. Pong Yen is simple. How many of you took this trade down? We took that trade down. Traders took off their money. Some of them took off their money. If you're still in the trade, you don't have to worry. You're still at positive right now. I think they can break now. There's one chance that they may do that and then break. Right? There's one type of structures we see that is possible to develop like that. So what we will do is, if you're in the sell, or if you're in the sell, when it comes here again, watch it. If they start to bounce again, they'll test the top and then come. So you'll get out of the trade, and then you'd maybe not want to look for the buy, but you would look for the sell again. We're at the top. And that means we are going to look for a sell back to this low, back to this area, right? Let's take this one off. So 4 hour, look for a sell setup, wait for them to break this structure, let them break out of this. Sorry, let them break out of this here. If you're not in the trade, let them break out of this, and then you can take this trade down. GJ stopped out. Yes, like I said, depends on how you trade. Understanding the structure, understanding where your stop should be, and where you should enter the trade. So if you enter this small one, that's a break-even trade. If you took this one, that's a trade with profit, at least at this level. If you took that one, you're in profit. If you didn't take that one, then you're waiting to see what this is going to do when it comes here. The worst case scenario for this would have been a break-even trade if you'd move that to break-even. Yep, like that's the worst case scenario if you get a break even, because the trade is not going as yet. Nothing is wrong with that if you get break even, because the trade you're looking for is not there as yet. The trade you're looking for is for them to break this and go. This is the trade you're looking for. So if the first attempt give you, or the second attempt give you break even, that's okay. You're actually trading very well, right? When this breakdown, that is the trade you want. You don't want to miss that. Punkad. Same here, watch it. It's downside long term. There is a possible chance that they could tag the top there and then come down, right? Make one more up move. If they start to fall, you will have to wait for a flag. If this starts to fall, come back here, wait for a flag before you sell it. because any pull down here could still go straight back up. Wait for the flag. Punk Chief? Well, we are in this one already. How many of you in this one? Not many. I thought this is another 300. Yes, right? So here's what the first trade was. This one we didn't take, but we took this one. Remember, I took that one. I closed the trade here because when they made 1, 2, 3 and they drop here and they start breaking out, you close that trade. I didn't take the buy because I didn't thought they will break this top. But once they break the top and they start to fall, you're back in the sell. I took the sell actually here. So I'm right almost at break even, right? That's where I am. But I'll keep that trade because it's a long-term trade. If the structure changes to upside, then I will get out of the trade. Right now, I don't see that possibility. I see them coming lower. And it's a bigger, they can change to the upside, which means I'll watch it when it comes here. If it doesn't keep going or consolidate, start to reverse, I'll take off the trade and look for a buy at the top here. But I don't see that potential. I see it's still more downside. Yes, last week I sold at the top, which was here. This was where I sold last week. And I kept it when it came here and they broke this. See, this is where I closed the trade last week. This trade closed it. That is not the trade. That's not what I was trading for. That's not the profit I'm looking for. I'm looking for this trade to come and tag this low. So that just happens to me. That's a break-even trade. It wasn't profit, but for me, that's a short break-even trade. So I'm looking for this to come here. That's a trade. Right? I will upload as soon as possible. Let's go. Aussie yen. We're at the top. Be careful. If you're going to buy, you probably wait for them to make a deep correction before you buy. Selling at the top there, wait for them to break, make flag, and sell. Nothing to do there, actually. Same thing with the New Zealand yen. Nothing to do there as yet. Canadian, nothing to do there. Still, when they're at these levels, stay out of them for a while. Wait to see whether they'll confirm one side, upside or downside. If they go up, they will have to pull back and then go. If they're going to go down, they'll have to pull back and then go. So when they're at these levels, I tend to give them time to set the direction. And then that direction continues for a longer time, right? Canadian has a flag. It's a short-term trade. I see the flag. Take it as a very short-term trade. It comes here. It breaks out. Take this trade. Short-term trade. Take profit. Don't take it as a long-term trade because once they start breaking the tops, they can reverse. Aussie Chief, nothing here. It's at the top and it's making a flag. You don't want to trade at the top there with a flag. Aussie CAD, same here. You're making a flag now. You may get a short-term trade here. See that? It's a nice short-term trade. Take profit. Don't keep the trade. See how far you can get it to go, but move your stop and take profit. Aussie New Zealand, if this starts to break here, there's a chance I still believe this is going to go one more down because to complete the daily structure, they will have to tag this low. Otherwise, that structure changes. So if you pull back here as a flag, buy. If they pull back as an impulse and make a flag here, sell. Right? One out of those two options you're waiting for. You will wait for a correction before they'll make a correction here. They'll probably break this and come here. Go back up or sharp drop sideways and go down. I'm in for the second option. I think the second option is what is going to happen, which means one more down, then up. Let's see. I would trade both of them, but I would like the second one to happen most likely because I have entry orders to buy here. New Zealand CAD, stay out of this for a while. There is a sell setup here cooking up, but it's very short term. This one here, right? You can see that there's a sell setup there, but that is short term. You want it to break through this low. If they don't break through the low, take profit. If they go very sharp and break through the low, you can keep the trade for a longer term. If they just stop at the low, then you want to take profit. New Zealand Chief, kind of look like it's going to go one more up, but I think they're going to fall. We've seen this pattern where they just start dragging it slowly, but you don't have a setup to sell it. That's the problem. You have to wait for a setup to sell it. Silver, definitely upside. right? Now you're going to watch silver very carefully at this trend line. We want them to break out sharp, and we're all in the trade. I think everybody in here has a silver trade buy on, right? Anybody doesn't have a silver buy, even if in one micro? Okay. Oh, still don't. Okay, you got to look for one, because once they break this structure, they're going very fast, right? Physical silver, that's great, Ivan. If you can get a physical silver, you don't have to worry. You have it there, right? So, you sold it. I think you don't want to sell silver. You never hear me say you want to sell silver, right? One guy even trolled me on that. If it's gonna fall, you have an order to buy more here. That order is still lying there in my account. So if they fall, I'll buy more. That's all. Right? Yep. Buy from 1486. Wow, that's great. You've been listening to the webinars. Put it that way. You're listening to what we say, right? You had your entry order there. You got tagged. That's the point. Gold, I think you should be in the buy already. It's going nice, right? So I would exclude this one. We were making one options of gold coming to tag the low again. I think that will not happen now. If they keep going, they will not do that. You're looking for gold to come back and retest this top here. Retest that top. So right now we're looking for more upside. It's not a sell setup. It's mostly a buy. Right? Remember what we said? When it was coming down, they will break this low and they will reverse. See? It's easy, right? It's easy if you understand the way the market behaves. If you don't, then you're in trouble. Now, can this structure change? Yes, it can. But remember, we follow this thing on a daily basis. So if the structure changes during the week, we see that change. We move our stops. We take precautions. We make different trades. But right now, it's upside. I think you can see that yourself, right? You don't need me to tell you. Let's look at oil. Oil is in a big sideways move. Be careful. They're going up. They may get to this top, but at that point, they could either fall or they could break out. I don't know which they're going to do because this is an incomplete structure. It is not complete. It doesn't have enough pieces to fit into anything that we know, any pattern we know, put it that way. We're still waiting to see what the bigger pattern will be yet. There are many little pieces still making to give us that pattern. So just be careful with oil, both of them. Just be careful. This one has a better structure for a sell. A 1, a 2, and a 3, and then this could be a nice sell setup. Right, this would be a good sell setup. They may spend longer time in here. You may see something like this. If they do that, they'll confirm a pattern I'm thinking of. But we have to wait for that, right? Right, we don't have that confirmation. Natural gas, for those who trade it, it's a buy. I think our traders bought this already this morning in the trading room. Right, we bought this in the trading room just before this webinar. Right, this, by the way, was from one of our traders who identified this trade. He may be in the room, I don't know, right? He was the guy who identified this trade, and that's a buy it, good buy, right? Going. So he's doing well. He's in the money, right? I don't think he traded very big. He's now practicing. Okay, you will watch it, the recording. Let's see. What else everybody wants? Everybody wants something else. So let's look at Bitcoin for those who trade Bitcoin. And I would hate for those trolls to come back again and tell me I don't know anything about Bitcoin. And I will tell them I don't need to know very much about Bitcoin because you're actually gambling your money. If you think it's going to go to 3,000 and 4,000 and 5,000, you're going to get your money back to 800 because Bitcoin will fall. It's falling and it will fall. And the reason it will fall is very, very, very simple. This is not kind of a complex thing. There is nothing. Let me repeat it. I'll repeat it every webinar until it gets to you. There is nothing supporting Bitcoin. There is nothing to support the Bitcoin except speculation. And when you're speculating in something, the winner pays the loser pays the winners. And if everybody decide they're going to exit, that's the end of it. It collapses. Right? It doesn't mean you can't make money in it. You can make money, but you don't want to be the last person to be cashing in your Bitcoins for money because you're going to collapse on you. Remember I said it's going to fall? Well, it's falling and it might keep falling. Right? There's nothing. And the more people, you wait, let people start to panic on this. And then you're going to see how many people are going to left with virtual coins in their pocket that is worth zero. Nothing. Well, not zero, but nothing, basically. And this thing could stay at the low for a very, very long time. Let's look at S&P 500. S&P 500 consolidate. Remember last week we said if they start to consolidate here and not go very aggressively, expect one more up. That was your buy there. Now I still think they're going to go a little more up, but as they get closer to the trend line, be careful. Take profit if you're in the buy. We were expecting this thing to go down anytime. Anytime. We don't know when. Watch the pattern. That was an up. They can start to drop. You may want to look for sell setups. Let's see what DAX is doing for those who trade DAX. DAX is setting up. They look like they're making a flag here. So if they break one more up, watch them to test the top again. They could test the top again. If it's coming down, you will have to wait until they get here before you sell. Right? You shouldn't be selling at the top there now. Nifty similar. Yes, Nifty also similar. Well, Nifty, I keep saying since last week, I watch it. It's going up, but it's also in that channel, which means that, they can come down anytime. They keep pushing up, pulsing up, right? They're pulsed up and up and up. But they're in this channel crawling up. See that? They're in that channel there. So they'll pulse, 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 pulse. They'll probably even pull back and pulse them, but eventually you'll see that fall coming. So be careful. You're at a very, very high level now, which means the fall could be sudden. That doesn't mean you stop trading it. It just means you be careful about it, right? Remember, before this fall, it was making up, up, up very sharp and then drop. So watch it here anytime that drop is coming. Short-term crude oil, don't trade it short-term. Wait for that corrective structure to finish, and then you'll trade it, right? So, okay, guys, too much time. Somebody wants Ethereum badly. They're actually, you are in the money. You bought it to the top here. I could see you want it. You bought it probably at the top here thinking it's going to 1,000. And now it's not going well because it will not go well either. They're going to come down more. They're in a downtrend. Until they break that downtrend, you're in a sell. You're in a sell. Okay, great. If you're selling it, you're making money. Keep the sell until they break the trend line. It doesn't look to me like they're going to break this trend line very soon, right? They may go back up here, drop. If you see a correction here, they drop. It's only if they break the trend line and make a pullback, then you want to buy, right? Copper has nothing in it. Forget about it. Singaporean, I think, is still going down. We looked at that this morning. It's still going down, not very much. I think it's finding a bottom. They're almost at the bottom there, so you got to be careful. See that this thing is already searching for a bottom here. And then you wait for the turn, wait for them to break out, and then you look for the next trade up. Right? Wait for them to find that bottom. Okay. I think that's about it, guys. If we go all those charts, it's going to be a never-ending webinar. We can't keep going on forever, right? The webinar is already more than an hour. Yep, I would see all of you next week. Take care. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to help share the links. That way you will help a friend, somebody who is suffering, so they don't lose their money. I would see all of you next week. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.